has been a really difficult video to make. We've introduced the puppies and Beans, and now it's time to introduce ourselves. And it's been difficult. This is me a few years ago. And this is me now. This is Jordan a few years ago. And this is Jordan now.
The funny thing is, I feel like the same girl. That girl is this girl. The only thing that's changed is that it's harder to move around, it's harder to do the things that I want, and I don't get to run. The same thing with Jordan, he's the same guy. And it's funny how we tend to categorize people who are larger and think that their value is less than someone who's fit. And they're the same people they would be no matter what their shell was. It is really hard to be this large, and it's uncomfortable. I'm taking myself back. In the last 20 years or so, my health has been gradually failing. And one of the things that both kept me sane and kept me on the higher end of my poor health was my love for running and exercise. About a year after I married Jordan, my health really started to get bad, and there came a point where it was just really dire. I wasn't doing well at all. And that's what it took, somehow, for the doctors that I was seeing to kick it in gear and figure out what was wrong with me. So it's been 2 years of treatment, and I'm doing a lot better. I'm doing so well, in fact, that I'm comfortable going to Alaska and working on the next phase of my recovery, which is to get out in nature full time. I do believe that being in nature is going to really, really help my condition, because stress is a huge trigger for my problems. I'm hoping that I can get to the point where I'm off of all medication completely, and that I'm stable on my own without prescriptions, and I'm on a lot of prescriptions. I'd like to be off of all of them. It was our first conversation talking about what we wanted to do with our futures, and it wasn't hinging around career goals. It hinged around where we wanted to be and where we thought that we would find happiness. And we both felt like we would find it in the same place. And that was a cabin in the woods, somewhere in the mountains. And we both had felt very strongly about that for a very long time, and it just really was cool that our goals and our personalities aligned so completely. When we got married, I was looking for properties, but I wasn't sure where to look. I was looking kind of all over the U.S., and we weren't sure exactly where we wanted to go. We had thought a lot about Colorado, but we never really found a property that spoke to us, and we just kept looking. After about a year of being married, we needed to find a place to live in town, so we bought a house. And we thought, okay, well, we'll just settle here for the next 5 years, and we'll pay this house down and pay it off, and then we'll go find our cabin in the woods. And we aren't into personal drama, the soap opera neighborhood thing. That neighborhood just wouldn't leave us alone. My health got to a point where it was pretty critical. Doctors were getting concerned, so they ran so many tests that they never ran before, and they actually found what was wrong with me. It's taken 2 years to just get back to the point that I was, health-wise, when we moved into that house 3 years ago. In January of 2020, I had a surgery, and it was during my recovery that I realized that this was the last major thing we needed to do before we could release ourselves from staying in the Columbus area for the sake of health and visiting doctors. So while I was on my back recovering from surgery, I started looking, and I told Jordan, I don't feel like there's anything holding us back now. Instead of paying off our house and then starting our dream, I'd rather start our dream and pay that off as we go, or build it as we go. We still didn't know where we were going to live or where we wanted to live. We had so many criteria, and it seemed like every time we searched an area, it had a deal breaker. So instead of continuing our search online and trying to figure out where we wanted to go by looking online and by doing research there, we decided to just get out. Sell the house, sell everything we owned, buy a beefy truck, buy an RV, get some solar so we could go anywhere and stay anywhere we needed. And go drive around America in search of that perfect place for us. We knew on paper that some of the areas that we had looked at didn't appear to be right for us, but so many people loved living there that we decided to go see for ourselves. And that's what we were going to do. So we moved into the RV, and we sold the house, and then we found Alaska. We had looked at Alaska in the past, and we had thought that it looked like an appealing option, but there's a lot of talk about, oh, Alaska, it's so scary and remote and dangerous and hard to live there. But the very reason why a lot of people don't want to live in Alaska are all the reasons we do want to live in Alaska. Because we're kind of the polar opposite, if you will, of everybody else. People like to be social. They like to be close to town. They want sunny weather and no snow, and they want to lay on the beach. And I'd rather lay in a snowbank. There are just so many reasons why Alaska was just perfect for us. And we discovered Alaska by watching another YouTube channel called Simple Living Alaska. And we were just passively watching because they're awesome people. And we loved their channel. And we kept saying to each other, these guys, I love the way they live. I want to live just like them. We just kept saying as we're watching it, I want to live just like them. And we watched all the way through the whole series, and we started again because it was just so awesome. And we felt a pull to that area. Suddenly we realized as we're watching this channel, they are living exactly the way we dream of living. 9 months of snow, moderate summers. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. It was just perfect for us, and everything about it we just loved. And so we realized that's the place that we've been looking for all these years. So we started looking in Alaska, and I looked through every property in every part of the state. I showed Jordan, well, there's this one right here. And as we looked at it, we were like, wait a minute, that's perfect. That's right down the line. That's exactly what we were looking for. So we jumped on it, and a month later we closed and we bought that property. And then we looked at each other and said, we own a piece of Alaska. We've never even been there. This is weird, but we feel like we know it and we belong together. And we're so excited to meet it. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like that first time we pull up out front. I get choked up just thinking about the first time we pull up out front. And we look at these trees, these hundreds and hundreds of spruce trees that are ours. And I'm just so excited to pull up there someday and walk on our property. We own it free and clear. I've never had that before. I've never owned land free and clear, completely ours, with my name on it and no bank. I've never felt that before. I still haven't felt that. It's there on paper, but I've never experienced that. I want to bring you guys along. I want to bring my family along. I want to bring my friends along. And I want to bring my new YouTube family along to come and experience this with us for the first time, because it's going to be mind-blowing and surreal. And I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to get home at last. I can't wait to get home at Atlaska.